The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody had a good holiday break and our first webinar for the year. I would appreciate it if somebody can put a hands up that the volume is okay. Just want to double check everything. Thanks, Victor. Fantastic. Let me just put the hands down. Okay. Now, as this is the first year of the analysis, we certainly had a bit of volatility in the market, I must say. So I hope everybody's okay with it at the moment, not too caught on the wrong side. And I also hope that everybody had a good chance to read the disclaimer, just keeping in mind this is just general investment advice, not personal advice, as I do not know anybody's personal circumstance. I've been given quite a number of instruments to do today. In fact, not counting the ones that I normally do anyway, I've got an additional 27, 32 all up, doing the Dow and so forth. So got a fair few. I hope we've got more than adequate time. I hope we have more than adequate time to actually go through this list. So I'll try to keep it modestly in pace. Okay, we'll just switch over to the main screen and start the process. Okay, first index. Basically, we're going to look at the Dow as usual. We'll look at the monthly and step down to the weekly and so forth. Now, when you look at it a monthly, I mean, we looked at it last in December, so we've got January and February in here. What do we see? Well, we originally had, let's just continue the lines a little bit to what we were initially looking at. So we'll just increase the line up higher as we put that in place. And we can see a potential, if we just clone this. So we can see a potential bearish flag. However, now we say it is only as good as it looks. Okay. Now we see the height of this, the way it's moved up there, it's pretty close to the previous high. So on the monthly, we can honestly say this is not very good. Okay. What this target is done is off this rising wedge. So what we have seen is the indexes went down, came back up to retest this rising wedge and basically failed. Now the weekly, because this might have a high on the weekly here, it might show it in a better form. We'll just go to the weekly, but keeping in mind the monthly is not the best. Going to the weekly, this is what we were looking at. And as we can see, we can't use it in any other way other than a little trend channel. And again, you can target out of a channel. Now, also, you'll note, what is it doing down here? We'll do both first. We'll do the target actually first. You can see there's the channel top. Once it broke out of here, touch down to here, go to the breaking point there, and that's its target. Okay, so anyone that was watching this could have had a nice little trade there. However, where are we going from here? Let's just draw what we see first, and then we'll use the price targeting and other things. Well, potentially, this is saying, if we clone this, oops, I didn't draw it very well, did I? It's saying we have a potential bearish flag. What else have we got? Let's extend the line for here. Just continue on. We had it, first of all, we had it just touching from there, going across. You can see, oh, it needs to go a bit higher, sorry. There, I think I've got it about there, yep. Right across where this previous low was, and you can see this is where support is. In fact, on this current candle, we can see it actually tested it, went back up, and we see where it goes from here. On this green tail, we can see it broke down below, and we thought, oh, we're on the way. Unfortunately, as you can see, did not occur, it went back up there. But we have, if this is a bearish flag and it continues on its merry way, we have a potential target. So this will make it a bearish flag. We do have a bearish flag at this point in time. However, remember what we say. It's only as good as it looks, and this is major support, and you can see it's struggling here. So if you did go for a short, keeping in mind, you'd be watching it here, see if it's going to continue or not. So the key is, if it breaks through here, this is its target down, around 14,630 something to 14,440 something here at this level. Also keeping in mind the target is also down here off this particular pattern, and also we have the lower pattern as a breakdown from the consolidation pattern. So two targets still stand. However, we can see this is struggling, so watch it very careful. Don't just jump in for the sake of it, because it really has got to clearly break through below to show confidence that this is really going on its merry way to the downside. Let's have a look at the daily. Again on the daily, what do we got here? Consolidation. Clone. Oops, I think they didn't clone then. Again, quite nice. Continues with the same theme. Bearish flag, pole, bottom, break. Again, the 14,400 target confirms that, but keeping in mind, we really got to get past these points, okay? In this case here, look, in fact, consolidation's really there and there, but you can see it's gone down to these levels and basically failed. So unfortunately not the cleanest, so I need to watch very, very carefully here. If anything, anyway, I'd be looking to trade this probably as intraday anyway. So I think that would be the safest way of doing it. .INX, which is the S&P 500. Next, are we expecting anything different? Really, it'll be pretty much almost the same. I use the word almost. Again, same thing, rising wedge, broke through, retest, coming below. These are the consolidation phases. Yes, it's broken below there. So it really, if you look at it, there's your high, there's your low, this is your lower high, again, lower low. So the trend is down. It's clearly demonstrating this. As I've been saying now for, 12 months, from the Dow's perspective, if you're looking for some of these stocks, if there were the charts representing what the Dow is representing at the moment, I would have bailed out 12 months ago, as I've been saying. The rest is just short-term trading. Going to the weekly, consolidation phase. Again, pretty much the same as you can see. Where are we here? I'll remove, actually, let's have a look at this first. Okay, so basically you can see just touching the low, low, low. There's your consolidation again. You can see it's trying to edge down, but not in a very clean way. Look, clone. Actually, I should have cloned that instead, but you can see overall this is saying lower. If I was trading this, even though if I was already on the short side, I mean, it's talking about 1,700 down to low 17s, high 16s. But again, this is a brick wall. I just see it drawn out. I mean, just look at the politics that's going on there. Anyway, everything seems to be getting drawn out. Really, really slow. It's very hard to trade these at the moment. Looking at the daily, look, same pattern as we saw on the Dow, you know. Clone. Again, where we're heading, we saw we hit that target initially from the previous pattern. high. This is, it closed there, opened there, so you'd actually conservatively take it there. You can see the next target down is again 1,719. I see it low, but just keeping in mind what we're looking at on this here. In fact, can I do it from here? I'm not sure. Just have a look. Yeah, here we are. Look, brick wall. That's where the brick wall, I suspect. So I see it really drawn out very slowly. That's the S&P. Gold, XAU equals. Nice. Now, remember we're waiting for which way is it going to break. Is it breaking on the upside? Is it breaking on the downside? Well, as you can see which way it broke on the upside, so this side is not needed anymore. Okay. What do we got here? Curved. The target from the bottom to the top here, first touch, break, there's your target. Up to $1,230 to $1,270 off the monthly, so it's telling us up. Look at the weekly. Oh, nice. We have a brick wall here. That's interesting. Let's have a look. Just one sec. Just really cleaning it up. So what do we see here? Coming down, falling wedge. What does it mean? It's broken above, hasn't it? What does a falling wedge do? Means the down is overall over. Expect now gold prices to start moving up. That's what it's really representing here. Let's just move the line a little bit further to show where it's broken. That's that. Now remember, this is its brick wall here. Now it might go down, but eventually it's suggesting it's going to break up. And the target, once it breaks this resistance point, is going to be like so, up there. Just confirming what was said before. And if that then supports it here, if it breaks through and this becomes support, then we can do a higher target again. And in fact, the higher target, just remember, the only time this will actually apply, right, up to the $1,400 mark, is once it actually gets to this level and we start looking at it, but it's got to get there first before this actually is effective. But all signs are, because this is a falling wedge, basically the bear run is over for the gold price. This is a weekly, so it's a huge cycle, so it's telling us it's time it's going to start moving up. It might take a little while, depends what it does at this level. Go into the daily. Well, isn't this nice? Well, anyone that's been watching it, I think we've done this before anyway, and we can see flag, flag. Now, I'll clone that one just to make it neater. I just want to point something out here. Okay, I'm going to do there's three targets here. Now, I don't want anyone to get carried away. You need to consider all the brick walls first, okay? As we said on the month, on the weekly. But we'll tell you what this is suggesting. There's a target to that. From here, that was a target from that point. And as you can see, it went a bit higher and consolidated. And now it's actually suggesting, I'll go to the body conservatively. That's what it's talking about. Again, 1280, as we've done on the weekly and the monthly. Okay, so we've got a monthly confirming this target. We've got a weekly confirming this target. And we have a daily confirming this target. So keep that in mind. Just extend that line there. So in other words, as this breaks above and comes back down, possibly on these levels, this becomes support, okay? And in fact, as you can see, this red line going the other way, if it actually does get to here, this becomes like a sandwich supporting it to the upside, supporting it further. So what is it telling us? I mean, gold's going up. Shares are coming off slowly. Maybe not so slowly in some of the cases, but not everything is going down, so you've got to be very selective. Okay. Now, since we've done gold, well, what else relates to all this? Well, how about oil? Let's have a look. Where are you, oily? Brent is what we really look at over here. You guys remember these targets that we did while the price was still way up here somewhere? More than a year ago? We were calling it down to these levels. I've left them since then. If you want to care to check our past webinars, all the way going back to December last year when we first started back in December 2014. You can check this. We did oil and these targets were there. So what is it telling us? Well, it's still telling us the oil has got lower to go. That's the bottom line, down to 22 bucks. Can it go lower? Absolutely. We'll have to start looking at the weekly and so forth. So there's nothing I can actually add to this. This is the target that we've done way back then, and it still stands more than 12 months later. Was it 13, nearly 14, well, 14 months ago. On a weekly, let's have a look. Clone. It's the only unfortunate this here is that I don't have all the full data that I really need to do this. So basically, if this continues to these lows, what we're saying is there's the next down to the 22 that we confirmed earlier, basically. Okay, now we've done the main ones when it comes to the international indices. So we'll start looking locally now. We'll go to the XJO. Now, I've got quite a number of stocks to do here, I have to say. Now, we have to keep in mind the way I'm not doing it in any specific order. So if you're giving me 2 or 3, you probably find I've got them on the list, but they mightn't be in the order that I've given them. I've just put them all down in a way that I actually updated my system. So if someone says, but I gave you a third one, I might do it at the beginning and the other one might be at the end. So please forgive me for that because there's no specific order here. Monthly. Well, we have confirmed that basically it's not the cleanest, as we said last time, but this is a bearish flag. And the target, we go down to the bodies. This is where the XJ on a monthly is telling us it's heading. Okay. In addition, we had an original target. I'll just do it and I'll take it off again after I do it. That's the target we got there. So I'll just remove that. Now, technically speaking, we have 1 here, 2, 3 touches, then the break. Okay. If we were looking at a rising wedge, which is not really very clean, unfortunately, it would go like that and quite messy. And that's why I'm not using this as a rising wedge, because it's not really clean. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I had an email, I won't mention names, for someone put it up to me, can you confirm this is a rising wedge? And I'm saying, look, it's triangular, but it's not really a good clean to use it as a rising wedge. So I wouldn't do it like that. All right. So delete that. And what do we got? And that's about really it. That's our target on a monthly. It's broken out of this. In fact, let me just clone this just in case to see that. No, it goes nowhere. No touches. Can't use it. Okay, next on the weekly. Let's see if we can do better on this one. We do have a down target on that. And guess what we see? Right away. We see here clone. As everybody can see, I got different workspaces, and you can see the workspaces that I'm using is the ones that is where we leave off on the webinars. So I don't alter them, so everybody can see when we update it, it's the last time I did the webinar. That's how these charts are updated. Targeting, again, from the top to, if you do it conservatively, it's to the lowest body, which is there, and breakout. Where are you? Just there. And we're down to 45. So the weekly confirms the monthly that we have lower prices to go. And if we were to, let's just clean it up a little bit here. This is not really applicable anymore. You can see this line that's going like so, it can go a bit lower at this point. You can see I can go down to the lowest, down to here. In other words, even though it's not touching there, it's irrelevant. At the moment, it's a long-term trend there. It touches here, it touches there, it touches there. It retests it. When it retests and goes back down, creates a low, pretty much acknowledges the line, so to speak. And what we can do is just clean this up a little bit, make it a bit high just there. You can see touch, touch, touch. This one, touch, going down. Maybe just have, looking at most of it, it touches most of them just there. And what we can do from here is extend that and extend that. Okay, just touch it a bit more. Sorry, I moved it a bit again, the low. So what we're seeing here is a broadening formation. Okay, so this is a nice broadening formation. So as it's moving down, it's getting lower and wider. Okay, so what that's telling us, expect volatility again. But the target is down here next. Now, which ones do you think is going to cause the price to go down there? And we go to daily. Again, cleaning it up a little bit. I think I need to delete and do it again, that one. It's pretty much what we've done on the broadening formation, by the way. All we're doing is just grabbing and touching all that. In fact, taking that, it's probably, yeah, it's just there on the green. There you go. So again, just demonstrating the broadening formation. Come here, you. Oops, wrong one. Oh, we don't need that anymore anyway. Just touching that. We can keep it to the bodies if you want, just to be more conservative. You can always alter it later, keeping in mind that it's probably going to go lower than that, but just keeping it as a safety barrier. Just cleaning it up here as we go along. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's not necessary anymore. That's not necessary anymore. Just have a look. So that's not necessary anymore either. Like that. Oops, wrong one. Okay. It's really only 2 touches by looking at that at the moment. The daily's not really giving us that much at the moment. So just try something out here. Yeah, I think that's just fishing. We really don't have much more than that. Yes, we can probably add in, if you were down to intraday, you'd probably do this. just on the down, see where it is and see if you're getting anything in closure. In other words, things like that. But you'd look at that on an intraday basis, not on daily. We can't really add any more than that at the moment. This bounced off this, so you got to respect it only because it bounced. How valid that is, hard to say at this point in time. But that's all you can do on the daily, but everything's telling you on the weekly this is heading lower. On the monthly, it's telling you it's heading lower. We'll start now with the individual stocks, and I'll start off with ANZ. Again, as we said in the past, there's your rising wedge, which is the end of the bull run, as on the monthly, and that is how many months ago we said that? Counting this month, 8 months ago. So I was hoping people would get an opportunity maybe to have a bit of a rally, give you a chance to get out. But, you know, the market is the market. But as we said back then, it's personally for myself, I would have bailed out. I don't know everybody's circumstance, so I can't comment on that, but I would have bailed out. That's me. The target of the flag is to here. Just let me clone this. I just want to have a look at something, if there is anything here. Look, this is telling me also this is a huge channel. And to be honest with you, this is a worrying thought. I'm hoping I'm totally wrong what I'm about to say here. Let me just check this out one more time. I want to redo it. Oh, sorry, it's my mistake again. Oh, no, I'll take that back. Still correct. I needed some serious touches. Okay, so the thing is, this is the channel that I did, and it has got a touch there, and it's got touch there and touch there. So it has enough touches to say, yes, it's also a channel. And if you look at it, if I had to convert this to a quarterly, let's say, you know, there's your high. And if this goes below this point here, then that is a lower high, okay? And that's a scary thought. Because if that's the high there, oh, sorry, I got my glasses on and it looks like I'm not looking very well. And this is a higher high. My apologies. I was worried that the way my screen looks, I thought this was lower than that. So apologies for that. I'll take that back. Nearly scared the Dallas out of me then. Okay, so it's not a high, so that's fine. Now, the thing is, this has broken, and that's its channel. And I just would find it difficult to believe. I just need to see. I won't comment on that. I'll wait and see what happens here. I believe that this is the target, and I stand by that target. It can go lower, and that is from here to this point to this point. It can actually go technically down to that level. And if for any reason it has a sharp fall further than that, then there's a lower price target, which I'm not prepared to do at this point. So if we see the price here, which I believe we will, and I don't think it'll be too long, unless the end of the month it closes above that and then creates support, I'd be surprised, but however, anything's possible. I would watch it very carefully if it makes a bearish flag, and we should be seeing a confirmation to this target. And if we do get this target, I believe that it's got a better than 60-70% chance to get to there. Let's look at the weekly. Cleaning it all up. Let's clean that up here. Get rid of this one. Well, remember what we first did? We did a target from here, straight down as a head and shoulder, and that was your target. Well, it achieved that, didn't it? And now we're into a broadening formation, aren't we? So let's first make it a little bit more conservative before we extend it further. We'll go to the body a little bit there, and we'll just extend it now. One, two, three at the top. Excellent. You can't argue with it. This is still saying lower prices. Everybody surely would know by now when you see this pennant. There's your target. In fact, if I take this line and take it to its edges, to its touching the green line, you can see it actually, I still didn't touch it. You can see it's at the target line. So definitely I see lower prices to come. I was hoping we'd see a rally. Maybe it still might happen, but overall I'm seeing lower prices, as I've said from the beginning, 12 months ago overall. So hopefully everybody's not caught out the wrong way too much on this thing. And again, to confirm it on a daily, folks, clone. And you got even a smaller one just there, but it's already past it, so I won't bother to do that. Look, your first one is from here, and it's already there. Now, realistically, this flag is good enough to take it from up there also. It meets this one, but it also meets this criteria. And there's your target down there anyway. So cleaning this up a little bit. Okay. And basically consolidating here. Look. That was that. Now, at a consolidation, by the way, remember how we target a consolidation? There's your consolidation, top of the consolidation, because we're targeting down to the bottom line, to its breakout point, and there's your target also. So you should be watching these things for yourselves. In addition, we had a descending triangle also in the same formation here. Okay. And again, it's the same target anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Or you can get actually a slightly higher one from here. Oops. From here to here to there, and staying a little bit lower to go. Cleaning it up a little bit. Get rid of those. I don't think we're going to see any back on this yet for a little while, you know, trying to close gaps like so. That's ANZ. I'll do national next. They all look pretty similar, don't they? Again, there's your rising wedge. What's this data come from? Let me see. That's 1987. Let me just see if I can see something else, just in case. This is a major low, 1987 there. Have we got anything from here? Let's have a look. Look, the major trend line is broken. This is 1987. Looks like a bleep now, doesn't it? All right, 1987. Look, I'll remove it for the sake of simplicity to look clean, and you can see the major trend is broken. Now, realistically, this can be a huge triangle like so. And God forbid if this occurred, because you got 1, 2, 3 touches, you know, technically, and I'm going to show this in 2 ways, okay? Then I'm going to remove some of it because it should be done in stages, okay? So we've got this target. Because we've broken this major trend line, we can actually go to this level. Yeah, even lower. And I hope this does not occur at this point. Like I said, I'm going to rub that out. But that's, if you use it as a symmetrical triangle from starting from here to there, it also shows as a major, basically, turnaround point, not just the rising wedge. And don't want to scare anyone, but that doesn't look too good. unfortunately myself, I was hoping to take some put options and I haven't. So I'm waiting for a retest. In other words, if we get some sort of rally back to this line here, I'd be looking, how do I take a short position? Okay, that's the way I'd be treating it. Right now, never chase anything unless you got a continuation pattern. I'll get rid of this for now, and I'll get rid of that for now. It's still a rising wedge, which basically means down, okay? And you can see this one has broken through the trend channel. Now we have to wait and see if it's going to close below or above it, okay? If it closes below and stays and continues next week this way, this becomes its resistance to a continuation, and God forbid again, because then you'd be saying from the top, which is the closest points to the channel there, you'll be saying this if it stays below and then breaks below, and you'll be looking down to that again. I'll remove that because we don't know where it's going to close as yet. This one's already met its target, so it's already there, it's done it. In addition, what we're looking at, what have we here? Clone. Okay. Bearish flag. It already hit its target. So hence we're getting a withdrawal symptom here, back on the upside. The trend line's broken. This is still down, and there's a potential a bit of consolidation first. This week, like I said, if it closes back above there, you might see it start to consolidate. We might even see a bit of a rally to the upside. Anything's possible at that point. But overall, I am clearly saying it's still a down market, okay? Still a down market. My perspective has not changed for over, 14 months. Again here, clone, target. What happened there? Whoops, what happened there? I'll do it again. I don't know what I did there. Target. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's two of them there, underneath there. Okay, so that's the target there. So watch it very carefully. If this, like I said, rallies back above here, then it'll stay down there a bit longer, and then we'll reassess if we're going to get a rally at least back up this way a bit. But right now, I know our friend Mr. Jimmy Fung was beautifully short in a lot of these. Good luck to him. Okay, so that was NAB. CBA. Okay, well, again, rising wedge. It's telling us that's the end. Gave us a target. We've got a lower target here. It still stands. I want to make that pretty clear. It's very important to note something else here, okay? We have a potential, in addition to what we had in the past, is a shoulder, head, shoulder. If this breaks below, this is the target to it, okay? In addition, we have a bearish flag. I mean, we have to clean it up a little bit to make it look more presentable, but primarily it is a bearish flag. All right? And the target, again, will still say down to here. So the flag's telling us on the monthly, there's your target. The head and shoulders telling us, here's your target. We were discussing in December in the last webinar. I said, I hope you get a chance when it was still down here somewhere. or was it down here? It was trying to rally up to, I think we said, let's hope it gets back to around 86. I think I'll just go back and just show you on the weekly. Remember, we're looking at this. We're saying, you know, you can take some money out. See if you can get it out around here because it was testing the neckline. Okay, that was a different head and shoulder on the weekly. There's one going this way potentially now. Sure enough, tested the neckline, and where did we go? What have we got here on the weekly? Clone. Just move it down a bit lower. Okay, bearish flag. I believe we're looking around the 68 mark, 67. And if that breaks again, look, if we draw it again on as so, okay, I still say it's got lower to go after that, because if it breaks that point, we really have lower prices. And I'll repeat this on the weekly. If it breaks, then you're looking around the $50 mark. So it's something that needs to be watched very, very carefully here. And not to be scoffed at, because if we do have this as a head and shoulders there, a bigger one, it's going to be one hell of a short or option position for those that actually play the options market. So watch very carefully. I suspect, I'm still looking for a little bit of a bounce. And please don't take it if you're thinking of getting it done, take that, oh, Anthony's expecting a bounce, I'm going to hold on, okay? Each one look to their own. I'm saying to you, I'm looking for a bit of a bounce personally so I can actually take a short, because I'm not in it, and I'd love to do something with it. So that's the only reason I'm saying it to you. I'm confident, I use the word confident, that if I take a short, I should make some decent amount of money out of it. Again, I do not know everybody's personal circumstance, so do not take it as personal advice. What I trade, I'm prepared to lose, so I don't know how you trade. I cannot stipulate that enough, okay? So we're looking down, but what have we been saying thus far in this webinar? We're saying I'm expecting lower prices overall. The downturn is going to continue. Interestingly enough, I suspect the Aussie dollar has bottomed out overall and it's going sideways to up. Now, does this mean that the market will slow down slightly, maybe go up? I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. But what I'm seeing, looking at the Aussie dollar, which I'll come to later, is that it seems to have consolidated, which we've been saying, and looks like potentially it's got a sideways to up move. Overall, it might be a number of months. I don't know. Now, what we might be surprised here is this downturn mightn't be, you know, it goes down, but it'll have burst of sharp declines, but overall it might consolidate to go up. So it could be a very confused market, and I'm sort of betting it's going to be more like that now than anything else. Just squeezing the chart up a little bit, auto size. I can't do much with it. Where are we here? CBA. I'll just get rid of some of the things here. So I actually I'll just take auto size off. Why isn't it? Oops, sorry. Just want to see. I don't know why I'm getting the top here like that. Draw a trend line from here. Guess what? From an overall low point of view, I just want to clone that just to have a look. We're right on a major trend line here. Let me just put auto size back on. So even though this cuts that there as a channel, we are right on the cuff of a major, look, it stopped on a major trend line. Okay. So from that perspective, everything's telling me if this breaks below, I think it's all shit will break loose, pardon my French. This is on a major, major trend line. If this breaks below, like I said, I really got to look at it exactly what is going on. And I don't understand why my chart is not auto-sizing at the moment. I'll have to look at it later. So, oh, that's better. There you go. So, looking at this, yes, we can clean that up a little bit, but look at the targets that we're talking about. Potential head and shoulders down to these. This is the major trend line here, and stop right on it and respect it. If this breaks through here, I think it's gone. You can see it's came in and tested it back here. The best thing for this to occur is to delay. If, you know, I'd love to get on it on the short side. Okay, that's me. So I like to get it on the short side. Yes, this is support areas and consolidate. Maybe this is where you'll make a bearish flag. So opportunities to watch. On a daily, a little bit messy. You can understand why this is doing it here, because it hit a major trend line. Basically, that's all it was. If you look at it on that perspective, you can actually look at it that way, or you can look at it from this way. So again, you look at it from that point of view, like so. This, if you treat this as a 180 minute, which is it'll double the size, that's what your targets are going to be also. If on the other hand, if you remove that and you treat it like so, you can go from here to the lowest body to its break point, and basically it's a bit lower order size. There it is down here again. Okay, so same targets, same targets. Well, I remember we were doing the last webinar. We were talking about it, and we said the price was somewhere down here. I said it'd be nice to come and retest that and give you a chance to get out. For those that took it, fantastic. For those that didn't, bad luck. That was CBA. I need to move a little bit faster, actually, because I'm looking at the time here. We're going to go way past. WBC. Monthly. Again, folks, look, bearish flag. From here is a rising wedge, but here's the major trend line. It has, well, broken it, but let's clean it up just a little bit to take it to its extremes, okay? So, in other words, there, and when you look at it from extremes, didn't touch it, sorry. Okay. When you look at it from its extremes, you can see it's pretty much on the trend line. Okay. We had a horn formation when you look at just the line from there upwards, or from here going upwards. Don't worry about that. And there, you're talking a horn formation. Here, you're looking at a rising wedge. All the signs are to the downside. If it breaks and closes below here, then we are, you know, the market's really going to go down to these levels. I don't know if it's going to be a sharp dive, which looks sideways slowly and striking down, but overall it's showing the market's going to go down lower. I think that target might have been from there taken, just to double check something. I think it was taken from there actually, but that's the next target down after that. I'm happy to do two of them now because where we are. And of course through the flag, the same thing. So folks, again, more down. We did two targets on the upside if it breaks above on this for a short term because of a horn. And it came pretty close to the first target, and that's about it. It's gone to a lower low, so that becomes invalid. We can leave one in there for good measure. What it has got, of course, is anyone that's been watching it, remember your patterns. There's your target down, showing lower prices to come. If that trend on the weekly and monthly closes below, we're on the way, on the downside. Look, also, what we do have from here, if we go like so, again, this is weekly. What we can say, originally we had a head and shoulder going this way, not the cleanest because it broke back and retested it, but you might get a bigger one now. And if that breaks below this point, which is below your long-term trend line, then you start looking lower. So then you can see how the weekly and the monthlies on the rising wedge entertain the weekly with a different type of pattern at the same time. Daily. And we can remove that. Again, it's got to stay below. If it continues, that's its target down, confirming the $22 basically. We'll clean this another time a little bit. We've got too many to do today. That's Westpac. We've got Suncorp. Again, rising wedge. Not the cleanest from that point of view, but let's have a look. Just extend that. Oops. Flag. From here to there, its breakpoint. That's actually its target. God. There is another target you can go lower actually, but no, I'm not going to even bother attempting that one at this point. The trend is accelerating down also. On the, I'll just delete some of this stuff, clean it all up. We already met the down target, so no point. Really has been quite messy. And there's another one there, by the way. Says a little bit lower to go on that. We'll clean them up another time. It's going to take too long or else. I'm looking at the time. We've gone how long and gone over an hour and I've still got so much to do. Target. There's nothing more I can add to this at the moment. The daily target's also been hit. It's consolidation. You really got to look what's happening here. All right. Even though this is suggesting a bit lower to go, basically there's no pattern for me to say let's get in now to the short. It's already maintaining a short. since it broke below here, it's continuing to this target based on this pattern. That was Sun. MQG. Remember we had double tops there? That's your, in other words, bottom, top. So really, all you have to do when that broke, especially this point here, and started to go down and broke below there, well, from here, I think we can see that on the, that's where it's, I just touched it. That's its first step. Let's have a look at the weekly, I think, on the next one. Consolidation. Well, again, what we did just a few moments ago. That's the overall off the weekly because we've gone off its highs here, not off its bodies. There's nothing there to tell me as a continuation to go lower as yet, but gee, that's a nice dive, isn't it? It can technically from here to there, but normally I would use a consolidation pattern before I actually utilize that. Just keep that in mind. If there was a bearish flag, I would use that and the bearish flag to confirm the next target down. It has got a bit more to go on the downside to hit this target anyway. Daily. You can see if you're trading this and you were at this point, you can say, you know what, there's a target. It's just to that level. You might have said, I'm only would be comfortable to this level. If you're going short there and to this level, and if you, or you can say, if I'm there, I can wait till see what happens here, and if it broke through, then you continue your merry way. So that's the way you had to be treating it. There's nothing more to add to MQG. It's still got lower prices to come according to this anyway. IAG. Broadening formation, hit its target here. I don't have any other targets off this, by the way. So hit its target. So it's telling me lower. Can go lower to what level I don't know yet off this chart. But it's fairly bearish. Looking at it the weekly, let's just clean it up a little bit. First of all. Like so. As you can see very, very clearly here, there's no guessing on this one. On the break, what would you do? Okay. There's your next move down. Off IAG, next, as they say. Let's have a look on the daily. These are the targets that we're looking on the downside. So this is accelerated trend down. Probably treated like so. Client, can we see anything there? No. Yeah. You really can't add much more than that. I mean, when we look at the weekly, this is what the target that we did, by the way. Sort of that. That's where we're looking at. And that gave us the target down where there's plenty there. But if it breaks what we're looking at from here. How many bars have we got? Is the question here. 14 bars. I really can't do that off a daily, even though I'm getting close to the same result. So I can't really do that because, oops, where are you? The weekly one is correct, however. Okay. So the weekly is telling us it's got lower prices to go. Okay, how about where's farmers? Look, this is, as I call it, an extremely boring stock. But if you're happy with the dividend it's paying, well, you know, it's in a very, well, quite a wide range, but a trading range. And, you know, this line can, bottom line that is, I put it there, but can technically, it is there on its lows. Okay, so I really don't know what to add to this. It's just sideways, wide range. On a weekly, yeah, it's broken below, but that's just an ascending triangle, you know, and maybe I can bring it like so, and maybe like so. There you go, looks better, like a sandwich. That might be its brick wall, but what can I say? I really can't say much about it. Not at this stage anyway. We'll see it later, but not at this stage. On a daily basis, well, is this a flag? Bullish. You know, the thing is, I'm so uncomfortable to trade on the upside of something that when the rest of the market's taken a hit on something, you know what I'm saying? So I just find it a little bit difficult. 45 bucks. But remember the resistance, the sandwich that we drew? Oh, what did I do? I minimized it. That was silly of me, wasn't it? That was a daily. What have you done? Oh, there you go. Yeah, so up, but remember this brick wall here, okay? Oh, the interesting parts. Here we go. Let's try Rio. Well, interesting for some, not so for others, I guess. Monthly. As you can see, I've got targets all the way down to 28 bucks so far. And I can technically get a lower target again because remember, this is the long trend line for Rio. Okay, this is all the data I have from 1987. You can see touch, beautifully, and beautifully break. So it's telling us overall the trend's down. Okay, I can also technically, I'll draw the line, but I'll remove it. I can do this also. Okay. So you can see it's a huge, bloody symmetrical triangle. But it's only valid because from 1987 going all the way up, I can raise it up and it'll touch that. But it is so uncomfortable to where it is. It's telling us that's the end of it. You know, that's the end of an era or something's just happened there. And we do have targets. However, if we start getting to these targets, I will start applying what I just showed there, because then it'll be lower to go. So if I see a nice rally to the upside here, this rally to continue to the upside, again, I will be looking for the short side. Okay, I just want to make that clear. So I'm saying there's lower prices to come. I'll just get rid of the dividend. Obviously, dividend is, someone mentioned to me, oh, what did I do? Didn't do I? Across here. So 9th of March, 17th of August. So this pays in March dividend, so it's due. So what are we doing here? I don't know if this is going to be a flag. That's the truth. I just don't know. Is it a clone? I don't know. It's not very clean, so I'm not even going to leave it there. I just tried to see, but it's not very clean. So I would see if this wants to consolidate or run up. You should not be on the short side and you should not be on the long side right now. Okay, it hit its target here, and that's a clone line to here. So it's like created an artificial channel and it respected it. It bounced. Okay, it went below and then back above. So I would see if it wants to consolidate even up to $45 odd here, and then relook at it again. But overall, remember, lower prices to come. When you look at the daily, okay. Now, if I take it, I'm going to use the bodies only because I don't want anyone catching any traps in this thing. So you can see up to $47, $48. Okay, $47, $48 potentially. And if we draw from the top, we can see it's going to have a wall anyway, regardless. But remember, overall, we're talking lower prices to come. That's only a bear rally, as you want to call it. BHP. Well, interesting. Remember this target? We didn't quite get there yet, but I expect it will get there soon enough. Okay. What else is down here? What's the? This is all the data that I have. This is 1987. I do have a lower price when he rallied up from there. Interesting. Now, let me get that. This is the long-term trend line, guys and ladies. Interestingly enough, it's where it stopped, isn't it? So we know why it stopped there. The thing is, can it close below it? If it closes below it, we have much lower prices to come than $12 that we've got to target there. Much lower. I'm not going to go into that detail today as we've got limited time, but if it closes below in the next couple of weeks, then we'll talk about it a bit more. However, that's where we are at this point. Let's have a look if there's any other signs. Again, is this a flag? If it is, it's not the cleanest, as you can see. So I can't be confident enough as yet, because it's not the cleanest. Oops, sorry. Let's move that out of the way. If it is, and it's a bear flag, because you can see it's not clean there, then we're going to have target down to the $12, as we said before. Below $12 is down to 11, I think, isn't it? What that size? Yep, and I think that's 11. 11.98 or something. So again, lower prices to come overall. Let me just delete this bit here. Next, daily. Yeah, I don't know. That would be better on an intraday basis, what I've just done. I can't really add anything else to it at the moment, other than what we've done. Next, Woodside Petroleum. Well, long-term trend line gone, sideways down. I think target for this at this point is not, doesn't look too difficult. Actually, to here, to there. You're looking down to $20, under $20 on a weekly. It fits the broad information. We can clean the rest up in here again. The mesh tail worked out in the past, so we don't need it anymore there. It is in an accelerated downtrend. There's your accelerated downtrend. We might be plucking it here, so. Not very clean. I really can't suggest anything at this point. I'm going to leave this as it is and see how it turns out. On the daily, however, let's have a look. We can see this is an accelerated downtrend. No, you can't use it like that. Delete that. Yeah, we can't do much more than that. All we can say at the moment, it's narrowing its consolidation. The thing is, when you start from here and go to there, it's only 15 bars. And you really need more than that to show you what real volatility is in that range. So I wouldn't even apply that, actually. I think what we can do is we can, oops, nearly deleted that. And even put it like that, which is fine. It's pretty close. We can see everything's narrowing to this point. For something is gonna give, and I'm betting it's going to be more on the downside based on what we've got on the monthly. So this is just patience and watch. But we can see here, we can see that it should be to the downside because the monthly telling us major support was there. It's gone. It's now to the downside. So it should be to the downside. We trade what we see, not what we think. OSL. What's OSL? That's something different. We don't have a lot of data for this. Must have recently started trading. Let's have a look at the daily or the weekly. I'm not getting too much there. The reason I'm not getting too much is all the data is to one side. If this was more like here, then up, then down, then we can do something, but it's not there. It's all fashioned to one side. If you're looking at it on a monthly, you can see this is also broadening, but it's not that wide. It's not broadening enough. So that makes it more difficult. That's what we're looking at. That's sort of broadening, but not that clean as, if it was more like down here, more like down. It's not that, and not that much. That's what I'm going to say. Can't say much more. Oh, look, it looks like there's pennants. Could be one longer one. How we do, if this was a really good broadening formation, I would have been more happy to do this. I'll just show for the person that's got this stock. And also to the next level, which has got a bit more to go up, okay? And this has got a lot of withdrawal. If it was more bodies there, I really would feel more comfortable. That's its targets to the upside. On the daily, like any consolidation, it can be long there and it can also be long there, only because it opened here and closed above there. So it's just like a tail. This you've got to take it to its peak. So what you can do then is to the line, to its breakout, and it's telling us on the downside, at least it can go there. But overall, once it gets there and turns around, we should get a slightly higher price. The only thing, like I keep saying, I'm concerned, is if the broader market turns around and has a bit of a rally, I can see it going very easily. But if we get a lot of negativity, that's where things start to fail. So caution, that's all I can say, more caution. Actually, one more thing before I forget. Just want to try this out. No, I was hoping it might have been a rectangle. And the thing is, why this is, for those that actually do trend lines, trying to make a bit of an education course here, this is really not valid if you're trying to come down to make a rising wedge. The reason it's not valid is you normally do it from a step up. You can see this point, there's a step down from a low. So you shouldn't use this point. MTU. Oh, what's this one here? All right. Oh, this has really been moving along, isn't it? So it's making higher highs. Right. That one's valid. I've only got 2 touches, by the way, so it's not really strong unless it comes down here and then goes back up and so forth. But that's all I can add to this. It is certainly higher than that. So that's its support as it broke through. You can see it came back down, tested it, went up higher, even though it's a bit lower at this point. That's all I can put here at the moment. This might be a bullish flag or pennant. Wait and see what happens, and you might be doing a price up target. Down here. because it's a tail, I'm wondering if I can do this. And I can. On the body, on the tail, cutting through tail, touch, touch, touch. Very solid trend line. What would this look? Because that came down. I can go from there. This is how this is really starting to look now. You can see it's almost starting to form that look of that rising wedge. So not saying it's finished yet. It can go up higher. Watch carefully. You saw what rising wedges do. On a daily, not very clean here, so I can't really do much. If this had more touches, I can then say, let's tug it up as an ascending triangle, but I don't have that. The data's not nicely distributed. That's all I can do for now on that one. Telstra. God, nearly an hour and 30 minutes. And I've still got a fair bit to do. Telstra, as we can see on the monthly first, our target still stands lower. The difference now is we can clean it up a little bit, like here. I can then clone this line, and I can put it like so, which really is a bearish flag. Let's extend the line a little bit, like so, and it's really starting to look like a bearish flag. So please, who's ever got that, this breaks below this, I'll give you another target now you're not going to like. Okay, down to $4. Initially, this target has come off this break of this particular pattern, which is your trend channel. So that's not so bad so far, so please, very careful here. This is also a broadening formation. Remember what gold did in the broadening formation? So as a broadening formation, you can go from here. Can't remember if I did this. There's your target down to that. And that's what we were looking at before on the monthly, showing you as a little channel here. If you break it down to daily, you'll see it even better. But that still stands. And there. And delete that one. We can clone that. That's where we are. Okay. We had a target if it breaks up or down, which it didn't. That was it. Or if it broke down, that was it there at that stand. It hasn't as yet. So it's a new channel now, so that doesn't apply anymore. So we're really waiting for that. But remember, overall, it's suggesting lower prices to come overall. LLC. I haven't done this one for a while, I think. Oh, man. $19.87. We had lower prices there. Yeah. Not a very clean one here, I have to say. Is it from here? Would you do it? Clone, let's have a look. Yeah, not very good. Or would you take it from here? Yeah, still not very good. Yeah. Look, I'm going to leave this here. I don't like it, but I'm going to leave it to see how it pans out as a guide, not the main decision maker. Okay, keep that in mind. It will not be the main decisions. I'll just treat it as a guide. Look, what that's saying, obviously, lower prices to come. It's below, so I'll just remove that for now. Let's look at the weekly. Look, I hope I'm really wrong here, but not the cleanest again, but it can work. See, also, I think we did this in the past. It was a, oops, sorry. It would have been another head and shoulder there. I'll put it as a square just to show a difference. Head, shoulder, shoulder, or is it a humongous bastard? And what's the long-term trend line? You know, the thing is with these things, you got to look at it, treat them as an opportunity. Okay, don't look at it. Oh shit, you know. Well, if it is an oh shit type thing, pardon my expression, is that what you got to say to yourself? You know what? If this does work out, can I go short? And what's the potential return? That's the way I'd be looking at it. Okay, that's the way. Now let's have a look at something. I want to work backwards. I want to see if anything meets here. It's broadening formation, humongous. And by the way, if this is accepted as a broadening formation, your target is going to go from here to there to the breakout. Okay, so that almost says what are head and shoulders. It sort of confirms with each other. LLC, I don't know what they do that causes this. I guess it's property market, isn't it? They do all their building and so forth. Because if it is, you're looking down to $8.50, which is a one heck of a fall. And a broad information probably be near the same. That's a lower low, so we can definitely go from here all the way to here. But there's no support to do something. You can definitely do that. And therefore your target down. You've got to be looking at these things, you know. As your target says, lower to come. Okay, so anybody that was watching the land leaks for starters, you can see, if I show you all three of them together, you can see there was major potential resistance here. So you knew that. You knew there's a major support area here, which is even lower. Okay, and you look at the daily, if you're watching this, well, that was a support confirmed. All right, that's where you should stop. This came across, broke below, and say, yep, you can go down to that. So it almost confirms the trades for you. So you've got to look at it in all three dimensions and say, okay, that's good, that isn't. So this is still saying lower to come, okay, or lower prices to come. Did that one. SHL. Pardon me, but I need a drink of water at the moment. Okay, monthly. Well, something very simple to see right here. Looks pretty normal, doesn't it? When you put this together, clone. Well, that's a flag, isn't it? So target down is already telling you, you know what? We've got lower prices to come. Now, is this all the data I got? I think that is. If I choose from the top, what have I got from here? Nice. Now, we don't cut back on trend. This, as you can see, cuts back on trend. But we're treating this as a pattern, not as a trend line. The trend line, it's probably more like that. Because it's a higher high, that's the cleanest looking one, but because you can actually go all the way nicely to that, which basically still says a humongous rising wedge. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, it's telling us lower, and you're looking at it from here, it's telling us right at the intersection, mind you. It's got a, it technically can, it's already broken there. It can then be taken there, the same point. So here's your first one, and off the same point, you can say where it breaks. I'm only estimating here. There's your second one. So it's telling us again lower prices to come. So you got a flag and you got a rising wedge. One's already broken, and that's the long-term one. And there's the other one there. If it goes through the flag, it'll break also. Weekly, again, you can take it that way or you can take it that way. They're both correct. And this one here goes like so. You can see at the moment that it's closing and narrowing, going that way, narrowing in. So we really just got to be watching it very, very carefully here, because if this does break to the upside, we don't know if that's going to be the correct one. So from here, like so, clone. Just get, we don't know if it's like that, by the way. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And from here, because if that breaks through and it continues, that's where your next point of call is. Oh, what a broad information there. We really haven't looked at this for a long time, have we? Okay. I remember that one. Head and shoulders. And that's its bottom. Interesting. Again, I think everything that we've seen today is demonstrating lower prices are coming. Okay, lower prices are coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at the moment, trying to get the timing right. And accelerating down. We really can't add much to this. I think that's, I don't know if that's correct yet. I think it's cleaner, because you're not going to make any decisions on this at the moment. It's cleaner to see how this is going to bounce off that, because if you look at the whole lot on a weekly, we don't know if that one's correct or that one's correct yet either. But overall, we're looking down, so it's really just trying to get the timing in this. And that was SHL. Where are you, SHL? Okay, next one. BWP. Well, clearly, where are we here? Let's just move that. Oops, maybe. That was that. And clearly, breaking that meant from here to there to the breakout point is that target there. Now, that's extreme. Conservatively, using bodies, and it's there. So, because the trend line's there, let's just leave it on the trend line. And if it breaks the trend line, then we can do a separate target anyway. So, looks like a very tightly held stock actually anyway. It's in a major channel, as we can see. It's gone in an accelerated trend. It's saying here to the bottom of this trend, and really let's see if we get a breakdown or a continuation to a breakdown. But overall, if you take this line and clone that, we hit that line, we hit the target. From my perspective, is I would normally take money off the table and see what happens after that. But that's just me. So this is the only thing is it's not very, as you can see, it's not really clean. I think it's the best I can think of fit. So where we are in a triangle, which way is it going to break, up or down? Wait and see, and then we can target and go either way. But you would think, based on this now, it's really more to the downside. Oh, did I leave weekly out? I was doing monthly. Sorry about that, I left weekly out. And let's look at that again. Yeah. I think that's the same as the daily, isn't it? I think the daily looks better than the weekly. I'll leave it at that, actually. I don't know how to address this one. At the end of the day, it's decision time, isn't it? That's what he's really looking at. NCM. Should we be surprised over what we saw in gold? Well, last time we looked at this, we had this channel that it can go in. And as we can see, it's heading to the upside of the channel because we had a shoulder, head, shoulder, or symmetrical triangle, which basically told us overall on the upside. So, really on the monthly, there's nothing much I can really add to this. It is on the upside of the, basically on the channel. On the weekly, let's see if we can do a little bit better. This is the shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline. We had price targets. We hit those price targets. We have a pennant. Would have been a bit messy in the first one, but there's your target. We hit the line, and we are consolidating. I think all we can do now is go and look at the daily. So it's from here. Okay, that's not necessary anymore. And just okay, that's that. We really got to see where we're going to head for. At the moment, that's annulled from the past. No, the daily is certainly not giving us any more information. So we are at brick walls and we need more information now. Is it going to break above? If it breaks above, it's very easy to target, by the way. So we need to really see the next move, what it's prepared to do before we can really comment on this. If it breaks above, I'll show you on the weekly. Or if it breaks above and closes above here, then you'll be going from the bottom here to the top there, to the breakout there, and then you're looking at that level. But you can't really do that till it breaks above. Next, we'll look at SSM. That's in the sandwich you put last time and still stands. For it to go above that, it's got to clearly close above here. Okay, there's not a lot of data either. So it looks like it's trying to make a trend channel if it closes above, but that's what we call a sandwich, and this is where its major block and had to close above that for it to say next level up. So what we do have is it's sandwiched between two things. Look, here's your weekly. It's broken above this point, but not above this point. So clearly, the next move up, if it breaks, it'll go as high as that. All right, so what we've got to look at on the weekly, okay, like so. Now, if it breaks above that point that was shown before on the monthly, then we'll go conservatively. Then you're talking about up to 80 cents. It'll be a serious move. Okay, so we really, and you can see there's your 80 cent level up here. So you might find it might drag along the way there. I don't know how sharp or it's going to be. Okay, and again, the same thing here. Just saying what that is. Okay, there it is there. And there's, on the daily, there's two ways you can look at this, by the way. You can say that, like so, and you can actually put it like so, or like so. And that could be consolidation to the down also, I don't know. But you can see how the weekly and monthly looks like, and all I can say, this is at its cross straight. If it breaks on the upside, you've got an up target, and if it breaks on the downside, you've got a down target. And what we can say is if we extend this line, even though the target will be below here, that will be support. PLS. Was it? Oh, did I put up PLS? Oh, didn't I request that before? Oh, here we are. I never looked at this before, so. Top of the channel. Doesn't give us anything else, by the way. Yeah, you can't say it's broadening either. Not very clean there. Well, the accelerated trend at this point, what we can see here, has broken. Okay, so if you're in it now, if it fails to break above there and close above there, I would say maybe it'll be looking to come down. So 2 targets. If it breaks above, the next target's there. If it breaks below, the next target's there. Trade the break. On the daily, pretty much the same thing. Okay, again the same thing. Break above, trade there. Now, the only thing you might want to get earlier, if it happens, clone, it might be a flag. It might give you a chance just to get in that little bit before, possibly. Obviously, I don't know where it's going to break, but in other words, if it breaks around here, maybe you get in, and if it fails, at that point, get the hell out of there. So it might give you that chance to do that. NST. Well, it really hasn't changed. The monthly still is what it is, exactly the same. The weekly, all on this trend line, maintaining nicely, and look, to me that looks like a bullish flag, and take up to $4.28 or something, 405, 428. What's this there? I don't know what's that there. And is that it there? That broke above. Get rid of that one. Down from lower. You might find it's like that actually. And like so. So, interesting. Still showing as a rising wedge, but showing a lot of potential can go a lot higher. Northern Star Ordinary. Do not know what they do. And go from here, accelerated trend. And target. It's already hit, unfortunately. There is a bigger one. And that is a big one. And in fact, that's extreme. The conservative is to the bodies. That's in that range. Okay. Any brick walls? But remember the brick walls up here. Okay. This is very important. That's a monthly, so you need to watch these brick walls. But you can see the brick walls are around the $5, $6 mark anyway. And guess what? These are $4 to $5. So that has not altered. So much for NST. Did I do TLS? I did do TLS, didn't I? TLS, so look. Yeah, I did. I did TLS. I didn't cross it off my list. The next one we'll do is GMG. We're really going overtime here, folks. Okay, GMG. Well, do I need to say anything? You retest. And now I can draw the line there because this high is lower than that high. Now, if it makes the lower low, it really validates it, okay? That's the target I'm looking at. What a mess. Remember, none of these are personal advice. I have no idea what you're trading, how you trade, what style you have, what risk tolerances you have. I have no idea. Now, as much as this is messy, it is a triangle and which way the triangle busts. Okay, if this breaks to the downside, we can do targets. If it breaks to the upsides, we can do targets. However, looking at the monthly and weekly, it suggests it should at least break to the downside. But I can see it's very, very volatile. Don't know what they do. Staple daily. Okay, stapled. And that was GMG. SCP. SCP. Again, on a monthly, I don't have really much data again. Brick wall. That's all the data there. The weekly ain't going to look any different, I can tell you. Same thing. Oops. I'll do the top first. And the same thing. There's nothing else you can do. Which way is it going to break? You don't have any data to suggest that anything at the moment. We're getting there. What do we got here? SIP. Gee, these are quite a few new ones that I've never seen before. I don't know what was that. Clone. Again, it's shaping up like a rising wedge, folks, so I really don't know what to say. It's in this, again, consolidation phase. Oh, what happened there? Again, going off that, you can see touch and there. Now, does it belong there or does it really belong there? I'll put it to its extremes at the moment, since we're not in the stock. Well, either way, whatever way you put it, you can see it's in a consolidation phase, and if it breaks to the downside, you can target down, but that's its trend line also. So I'd wait. If it breaks down, you can target down. If it breaks up, you can target up. So it's really, that's all you got left on it. Did I just do daily, or did that? I didn't do that. And again, consolidation, nothing else. Can't really see much. Just extend this line a bit more. See, there went lower, then he went lower, then he went lower. So what do you believe in it is the question. That's why you got to leave it more broadly. So whatever you thought was more of a con job than anything else. So it's not something that I'd be very comfortable with. Can't really say any more than that. There's your breaks based on that. We have, what have we got left? A couple of these, and then I'll do the Aussie dollar. And we're gone nearly 2 hours, my God. MNS. Really been loaded up today, making up for lost time, I think. MNS. Let's just realign that. And yeah, it doesn't look right there at the moment, does it? Yeah, if I clone this one. Can that be it? Well, I'll leave that as it is for now. And let's see what else we got. There's your trend line on this one. And guess what? It's broken below. And guess what? Oops. Let's say guess what? That looks like a rising wedge, doesn't it? Bloody hell. The buggers are everywhere. You can put the line there because that's lower than this point. Let's have a look closely. Yeah, you can't draw a flat line there, can you? No. Just test it out. Just test it out first. No, you can't. Nothing lines up there. Delete that. So potentially what this could be doing here is a broadening formation. If it collapses there, looking at this as a rising wedge at the moment. Because if it is a rising wedge, your target's going to go quite low actually. And it has broken. Now I don't know what the company does, but I don't think I'd want to be in this one right now. Unless you know some fundamentals that I don't, that support something. But technically speaking, this says get the hell out of there right now. We were looking at this, which way is it going to break, up or down, when it was here, not there. Okay? And it didn't. Not very nice. Well, that alone tells us that from here to there is that targets, which is really lower to go again. So lower prices on that one to come. And that was the MNS. That's MNS. And now FET, and then I'll do the Aussie dollar, and we're done. FET. My goodness. They've certainly done well for themselves. As you can see, there's no way I can put a line out, can I? Not on a day, on the monthly anyway. So I can't comment on that from that respect. So all I can say, you can see that was its resistance, now that's support. So that's its consolidation point. If it breaks above, we've got higher prices. If it breaks below, well, it's arrivederci. Let's look at the weekly. Again, I can't really use a trend per se. And so put it across like so. So support here. 2 points of support. Which way it goes, nobody knows. Daily. And I really don't know what to do with that. I really don't know what to do with this. No. Look, all I can do is put a right on the closing of the support. That's all you can really do. There's nothing there. I can't draw a line that way because it doesn't follow any logic at the moment. Sorry about that, but nothing much I can do with that one. Okay, FET, that's done. Just double check on my list. And with the Aussie dollar, that will make it 33. Let's do the Aussie dollar. AUD equals. Well, now how did we leave this? We're on support through a sandwich. The major trend line, by the way, was busted. I just want to make that pretty clear. In fact, can I squash it up just to show? Monthly. That is the monthly. There's your trend line. That you can see going there, it really is busted. So, but what I can say for its defense, it only goes, the major trend line really only goes down to 2001. I mean, if you've gone back this way, I mean, you can say, well, okay, it is what it is. But you can see from when the dollar floated, we only have so much data. So we can't really say, you know, how did it look back in, you know, on an uptrend 1987, because it was a downtrend. So we don't have that much data to justify its reasoning, why it should stop there. All I can say is, looking at this, I'm looking at this and it's telling me the dollar has got consolidation at this point. Let's look at the weekly. Here it is from the break, but at the same time, let's just go down here. Even though the lows are there below as a lower low, if you go back to the previous, where it's closed, it's on the consolidation point. Now, I keep stressing out, I can't see, I see this dollar to go up. Now, some people say technically, how the hell are you suggesting that overall? I'm saying, and I'll give it a little bit away. I won't give much, but I'll give it a little bit away. Look, this is a sandwich, and I'm betting it's going to come back here to a sandwich. What happens after there, I'm not sure yet. But I'm betting that if we have a look here, I'm betting it's going to go back to there. And target, if this is a flag, remember this is a weekly, so can't do much till the close of business on Friday or Saturday morning. So this is a flag, is showing higher prices. And if it does that, it further supports this huge consolidation point. I'll get rid of it for now. Okay. I'll go to the daily and see if there's anything I can demonstrate to support it. It is, when you look at it from here, if you clone this line and put it here, it's got major support also. And it's right on this huge intersection that really says it should consolidate, at least at this point. And looking at it on a daily basis, you can see why this stopped here, right? Look, that was that. You can see why it stopped there. And where we are, if we look from this point to where we are today, we are 113 days across here. And everything is suggesting that it should consolidate. It's been there for such a long time. If it was just here for, 30 days, 40 days, 45 days, broke down and failed like it did here and continued to go, tumbling down to the low 60s, I would say, yeah. But it's been here for such a long time that everything's suggesting that it consolidates. Everybody's asking, why is the dollar so resilient? Okay, because I keep looking at it and everything is telling me, because of this consolidation phase, the upside is greater to around the 76. So we're not talking about 80 something, 90 cents. We're talking around 76, and I see it staying there for a reasonable amount of time. Hopefully I'm doing some other bit of modeling, to be honest. I can't really say too much about it because it is not proven yet, but I've got some other modeling that I'm doing that suggesting that it should bottom out, and should bottom out and go up. Hopefully this modeling will be completed in the next 5 to 9 weeks, and if I can get it in a position where I can show it to you live, I will. Not sure yet, can't make any promises, don't know, but I'm trying to do a few things at the moment. And in fact, why it's suggesting that this is bottom, and if I was taking a position, in fact, if you refer to some of the past webinars, we said I said it should bottom out around 68, 69. I couldn't be more precise because I couldn't do the modeling on an intraday basis. I had to do it on a daily, weekly, and monthly, and that's why I suggested it. And the modeling worked. It actually did stop around those levels and turned around. So I'm quite pleased with it so far, and I hope when it's further done I would actually get some better results. I'll have a look at the intraday. One sec, I'll need to open something up. Intraday on this. One sec. Okay, let's start looking. Sorry about that if your screens are adjusting and readjusting and so forth at the moment. Let's look at a bit of intraday on the Aussie dollar. Okay, now just looking at a 60-minute for a starters. Actually, no, I'll go to 180. I'll go to 360 first. 360 minutes. Just consolidating. One sec. I should have actually done this before. No, I can't do it. I don't know. I'm still getting more data, so it's going to take too long. I should have done this earlier. Sorry about that. While it's doing that, I'm going to just drop the time frame down, just for a moment. What's going on? Still getting data. Here we are. I've still got data for those that can see. They can see the number down the bottom changing here. So it's telling me there's more data coming in. Okay, 180. Let's just look at the 180 for a moment. Nice little sandwich there. It's telling us roughly what's expected. So I'm seeing consolidation in this phase and see which way it's going to break on a 180-minute basis. You look go the other way, and I'm seeing consolidation the other way. You can see why that's broke through in both sides. So we are in this sector waiting for a decent breakout. So all we can look forward to in the short term is to trade up and down between, say, 69.2 up to, say, 70.7, 70.80. Okay, I think that's all we got to look at. That's what this is telling me at this point in time. I'll just go to 360 to see if I can confirm that. I still don't have all the data, so I still can't do it. Damn. I don't know why. Well, I can't do that, sorry folks. I'll go back now. I'll drop down to 60 minutes where I was before. So they told us it's only going to be in a very tight range for a little while. Okay, so where are we again? Just one sec. It's not very clean today, so consolidation. Even 60 minutes is going to be pretty tight. Oh, 69. What am I doing? Sorry about that. So just looking at that, what we're looking at, trading between, say, just under 70 up to 71, and it's tighter on the other one. So again, drop it down further because there's nothing there you can trade just by looking at it. So let's see if we go to 30. What's just happened again? My machine's got spec attacks at the moment. Go back to 60. Why did it just do that? My goodness, this machine's going crazy. Okay. Clone. So, first of all, Okay, this is telling us we can go down to 69.34. Now, did that meet that criteria for 60 minutes? And off, which we met the target. So out of this pattern, it's telling us we can go down lower. And let's have a look back to 60. We've got another 69.34 from currently sitting at 70, so there's quite a bit of fat in if that works out. That's a 69.80. So even though we're getting a target of 30, what are you doing? Get a target of down to 69.30, we can only trade back to this area here. Okay, so go back to 60 just to tell us a bit more info. So what we're looking at, just before I go to that, actually what we're looking at is we need another pattern here to tell us on the downside. Now, if I can get some sort of continuation pattern to the downside, that's for those, which is only a handful of you there, I can see that are new to that. Basically, if we can get a downside target, I do not believe we will actually get to this level, only because we can clearly see its support here. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3 points that's respected it. However, if we can get another pattern through the night, whoever wants to stay up that late, we can start expecting for lower prices in that regards. Sorry, I just noticed there's questions here. I didn't see them before. My apologies. Oh, sorry, that's all right. Okay. Just someone thanking me on something. My apologies there. And so there really isn't much. I mean, unless you're looking for something bigger to break, you've got to be looking at this pattern. Which way is it going to break? Is it going to break to the upside? Is it going to break down to the downside? This is a 60-minute chart. It could be many hours before anything can transpire. So as long as you've got the patience, not a problem, or set up your alerts just to make life that little bit easier. There really isn't much more I can really add to this on the Aussie dollar. I mean, just looking what I've done on the daily, I can see, on the weekly, potentially I can see upside. I think it's bottomed out only for the amount of length of time it's been there and consolidating there. That's about it. Well, folks, first webinar for the year. I hope it's been worthwhile. I hope I answered all your questions. Obviously, I'm looking for the one Thursday fortnight again. So if you've got anything specifically you want analysed, just send it to webinars@phoenixi.com.au and I'll put it to my list and I'll do them at the next go. Just keeping also in mind, it's all being general investment advice, not personal advice. I cannot repeat that enough. I hope that's been satisfactory for this evening. So wishes all the best and God bless. Good evening.